Hello friends, welcome to Reads and Eats. My name is Fiona. I'm really glad you clicked my video today. I hope you're going to enjoy it. So this is me just giving you a wrap up of the books that I read last week, what I'm planning to read this weekend, kind of what I'm going to be doing this weekend, and just general chit chat. So I hope you're going to enjoy it. So the first book that I finished that I was reading last weekend, stay there, stay. Sorry, yes, I'm talking to my books, was Death at the Highland Loch by Lydia Travers. Now, if any of you have seen my reading vlog from last week, you will have heard my rants. There are two things that were very badly wrong with this book. One was location. The description of the title was not correct, because the place that the book was set was not in Highland town. It's a fife town. So that was a big thing. It was like, the research hadn't been done properly, and then she used a term for somebody from the Highlands that is very, very derogatory. You don't use it. You really don't use it. So those two things were really bad. Those two things actually knocked points off. So in the end, I only gave that 3 out of 5. It could have got about 4.5. So we meet Lady Persephone Proudfoot, and she is going to a friend's or an acquaintance's for a party, okay? But she's going early, and she arrives and she sort of settles in. And as well as the Lady Constance who's there, there's her son Gregor, and then there's a group of American people who are like, there's a couple of actors and a director, because they're scouting out places for their latest movie. And then Lady Constance's brother-in-law arrives with his wife. His wife is a bit, I think the wife is possibly on medication. Whether it's from the doctor or whether it's prescribed, I don't know. But she is a bit. I think she doesn't live in Cloud Cuckoo Land, but she's not totally with us, shall we say? So we have that, and then the second day that they're there, one of the footmen who takes Lady Constance's dog for a walk, and also took Lady Persephone's, Poppy's dog for a walk, he finds a dead body, and this sets off a whole police investigation. Now, Poppy thinks she's a bit of a detective herself because she's done a law degree, and what annoyed me about her was at times she kept pertinent information from the detective because he wouldn't let her help him in the investigation. I'm like, come on, woman, you are not a detective. You are just, you've done a law degree, which is great, but you're just a member of the public. So you do not keep pertinent information from the police. So we have that going on. We then have Lady Constance asking Poppy to take on a wee investigation for her. She receives a bill from a jeweller's in Edinburgh for a bracelet that she has not received. Okay. But lo and behold, the American actress has a bracelet that matches the description of the bracelet that was billed for. So Lady Constance gets Poppy to go back to Edinburgh. She has to go back to Edinburgh anyway for a day to investigate this. And then we have Poppy meeting off the train a girl from Dunfermline who's coming to Edinburgh for an interview and for nursing. Something happens to her, ends up in hospital. There are lots and lots of things happening in this book, and At times it was like, where are we? What part are we investigating? At times it was actually too much. And it was almost too crowded in many ways, which was a shame, because at the heart of it, it was a good story. There was enough of the story to keep you going, out with the major faux pas. But there were just bits of it you're like, oh, come on, no, can we not get back to the main story? So, yes, I was disappointed, and very angry with the mistakes that had been made, because yes, the author was born in London, but she's moved up to Scotland, so she should know where she's setting books. She should know what area of Scotland they're in. So yeah, and as for the derogatory word, well, you just have to Google it, and you discover it is a very derogatory word. So very disappointing, I have to say, and it makes me consider whether I'll pick anything else of hers up. I'm really not sure. As I said to the lady that organised the book tour, how this wasn't picked up, the mistakes weren't picked up by the editor and the beta readers, I don't know, because it's a UK-based company. So yeah. So that was a bummer. Next I read Sarah Morgan's A Secret Escape. This is her new summer one, and as you can see, it's been tapped. I gave this 4.5 out of 5. I enjoyed it. This is to do with friendship and family, and possibly decisions that you make, what repercussions could they have? And should you tell, and also a big thing is, should you tell something to your best friend that you overhear? Or should you not? Okay, so we meet childhood friends Millie and Nicole. Millie runs a holiday cottage business that her grandmother, her mother, in the generation have set up. So she's now running it. She has a teenage daughter called Zoe, and she's divorced from her husband because her husband had an affair, and he is now with the woman he had the affair with. But her best friend Nicole is an actress, and a very, very, famous actress. And Nicole basically ghosted her for 18 months. And out of the blue, she gets a phone call from Nicole going, "Can I come and stay?" And Millie goes, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So she goes and picks Nicole up in the dead of night, and Nicole is dressed as an old lady because she doesn't want anyone to know that she's there. We discover why she's there. And basically, she is being blamed for something that maybe she was partly to blame for, but not totally. And her career is basically imploding. So we have the two friends. Now, Nicole knew something, but never said to Avery. Okay. Zoe also, her daughter, knew something but never said to her mother. So there's tension for both of them, thinking, should I have told, should I not? We also have Zoe has always wanted to be an actress and has landed the lead part in the school production, but her best friend went for it as well and didn't get it, so they're now not speaking to each other. So we have that conflict going on. We have Nicole living with Millie and them sort of skirting round issues, shall we say, until one night it blows up and they have to face things head on. We have Millie and her relationship with Zoe and her mum and grandmother, which is lovely. We have her Millie's mum trying to move on from running the business and doing things for herself, and what that means for her. We also have Millie possibly meeting somebody new. And we also have Nicole possibly meeting someone as well. So we have all of that in this one story. It was so well crafted. It really was so well crafted. She got the angst and the not the conflict, but she got the tension of, do I tell, do I not tell? Really well done. And I know for some people that is really hard to read and they find it really, and I can understand that, but I just think she crafted it so well. There's a bit here that she went, people are complicated and often unpredictable, and sometimes what they wanted changed and sometimes what they wanted changed and you couldn't control that. Sometimes you needed to accept the way things were instead of wishing for something different to try to turn back the clock. So a lot of profound things being said in the book, and I just loved the way she wrote this. I loved the characterization. I liked Nicole, I really did. I liked seeing her discover what she wanted to do now with her life and why. It was interesting to read about her backstory as well, because we got parts of that and why she and Millie were so close as children. And I really enjoyed that. I loved seeing Millie coming out of herself and discovering the new her, not as the married lady, but as this single mother of one of her teenage daughter. And I liked that relationship she had with her daughter, also the relationship she had with her mother and her grandmother. It was really good. So I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It was, I always love my Sarah Morgan books, but I did really enjoy this one. So then it was the start of middle grade me. And I thought, well, I read 2 books from this series for the April children's literature book group. Now I'm going to finish the whole series. So this was the Sula series. So I read The Boy from Sula and Song of Sula. So in The Boy from Sula, Magnus is he's in Conan for the school term, but he's come home for the holidays, and the Duke has come over as well, because the Duke just loves Sula. He's very happy being here. And there is this expedition to Sula from the mainland. And there's also this other man that comes as part of it, but he's not there for that reason. He's there to try and buy Sula from the Duke to make it into a holiday resort. So is that going to happen? Is that not going to happen? It's also Magnus sort of growing up in many ways and finding out, discovering more about his talents as an artist and how he can do things. A really fun, enjoyable read. Takes me back to Mum and Dad reading me this, and these books will always get a 5 out of 5 for me, because they're just, they're just so special. And then Song of Sula. So Magnus is at home, and there's a young boy called Lionel who has come to the island to stay in the manse because he's not well. I think he's a relative of the minister's wife, and he and Magnus don't get on that well, basically because Lionel is musical, and when the Duke finds out, the Duke is like, you know, really, really pleased to have somebody else musical. It kind of rubs Magnus up the wrong way. But things happen and Magnus ends up in London. But while there, something happens to Gran, and Magnus comes home and he makes a decision about his future. Or so he thinks. Is this the way it's going to work out? Is it not? There's change on the island as well for one major character, which was lovely to see. Actually for two major characters, sorry. So that was really nice as well. So again, I'm not saying a lot about this because I don't want to give the plot lines away, but again, for me, 5 out of 5, you know. Childhood love and nostalgia. So then the next book I picked up was Keeper of Lost Cities, Neverseen by Shannon Messenger. I'm reading this as a buddy read with Beth from Soul Stained Ink. I will leave a link to her channel down below. Once you watch mine, please go give her some love and check out her channel. She's great. She does a lot of middle grade, which is really good because that's her jazz, what she loves. It's where, you know, her love and passion is. So go and give her some love. So I've read that much. I've stopped at the moment. I'm on chapter 19. I've stopped because I'm way ahead of Beth and I want to wait till she catches up so that we can really discuss what's been happening. But great to be back in this world, really enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I hope to be able to pick that one up sometime this weekend. Then I've also picked up Primula of the Chalet School by Helen Barber. This is a fill-in for the Eleanor Rembrandt Dar Chalet School series and follows Primula Venables, who is, for those of you that read the series, Dr. Jem's niece. And Primula is a character that you don't really see much of in the stories, and it's really, really nice for her to get her own story. I like her as a character. She's a very thoughtful young girl. She thinks things through and actually has deep thoughts for someone that young. And I like that, and I like that that's being brought to the fore in this story. So that's that. I've only got that to read, so I will get that finished this weekend. And then what am I going to read? Hold on till I get it for you. Hopefully it should be here on this. Come on, where are you? Just chat amongst yourselves at the moment, please. Come on, where are you? Huh? I hope you're having a nice day wherever you are. I hope it's I'm going to put you on pause a minute until I find this book. Okay, I found it. It is The Tuscan Sister's Secret by Daniela Sacerdoti. Hope I'm saying that. Hope I'm pronouncing your surname right. So this is the next one I'm going to be reading. This is for me. This is a review book. I'm part of the book tour, so I'm really, really looking forward to this. I loved the first one, so I am thoroughly looking forward to this one as well. So that's kind of where my reading is at for this week. It's been a good week, I have to say. It has been a good week. Although you have to say, these two just take very little time to read. But I spaced my reading out. I haven't, which is what I need to do, which is good. Weekend plans. There's rugby on this weekend, so we'll watch rugby. Oh, big. Today's the big day that the British and Irish Lions team gets announced. Oh, wonder how many Scots are in that. Be interesting to find out. But yeah, so that's my plan for the weekend. It's supposed to be really sunny here this weekend. Might hopefully sit out and do some reading. But yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please come chat with me down in the comments. Have you read any of the books I've mentioned? If so, what did you think of them? Are there any that appeal to you now that you've heard me talk about them? I'd love to know. What were you reading this week and what are you planning to read this weekend? Come chat with me in the comments. Have you got any weekend plans? Again, come, let's chat. Let's have some lovely conversations down in the comments on your way there, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Both help me out in the algorithm so much. I'm enjoying seeing my channel grow. I'm having so much fun getting to know more people and interacting more on this channel, which is great, and making new friends. But whatever you do, friends, have a great weekend. Stay safe. Happy reading. Bye.